Hello, is this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream? And this stream might be going over the event week for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. So starting off, the podium vehicle for the week is the Dodge Spectre. More details on that later as per usual. But yeah, I'll be doing this and then getting the wheel spin down here. And then also top of the podium vehicle.
Is your wallet safe? Yes, it's in my pocket. I hear that people are staring at us. Just enjoy yourself, Carol. It's fine.
Alright, 25,000 chips, which sounded pretty good, so I guess that was like a maximum amount on there. Pretty fine with that, for if I ever clocked on to casino store clothing at one point. And quite frankly, I don't really want the Spectre. I have a Spectre custom anyways. But yeah, to find this one, you have to go on the Benny's website, because it does have a custom upgrade. I think it's only on the Benny's website as well, and it's for an import and export DLC. But the Apache Spectre beginning vehicle, you would save $599,000. I don't think the regular one has deliveries, probably just a custom version, and the one on there is the regular version. But yeah, as you can see, you can turn into a custom version at Benny's. But upgrade costs tend to be quite a bit, so getting the upgrade in addition to this, when you get that upgrade, that will kind of be $1 million in value, but the upgrade's not free, just a stock vehicle. But yeah, the Battery Spectre for lap time apparently is 35th place, and this isn't the sport class, which has like 80 to 90 vehicles now. So it is an above average lap time for the sport class, but it's still not within like the top 10 or anything. So I wouldn't really bother with it for performance. And for those wondering, the upgrade is only like a couple placements above, being like 32nd. But again, this is the regular one that's on the podium. And then for the Spectre and top speed, it's actually 24th place. And then if you upgrade to the custom, it gets 23rd place top speed. So it does have above average lap time and top speed for the sport class, but it's still nowhere near the like top 10 or anything. So I wouldn't really go for it for the performance at all. I would go for it if you want the Spectre custom upgrade. So if you want to not have to spend as much for the Spectre custom, then that's kind of the best reason to go for it. And yeah, customizations are the highlight if you go for the custom version, but obviously the regular version is not going to have very great customizations because it has that custom version. So essentially, the regular version, there's not too much reason to get it, I would say. Aside for any personal preference kind of reasons. And yeah, I think I showed off all 10 of my tuner vehicles that I have, so I am going to decide to move on to showing off some of my lowriders, because I did recently, I think as of yesterday, completed my Benny's collection, and yeah, about lowriders, I meant Benny's, since not exclusively lowriders. So I'll be showing off those. And yeah, there's 27 Benny upgrade vehicles, so that will be only just like half a year's worth of vehicles I can show off on these different event week streams and stuff. But yeah, premium race for the week is down the drain, which is actually for the muscle car class, which is not one I traditionally go over every single week. So I'll be looking into the muscle car class on Bruffy 1322 spreadsheet, which is where I always get the lap time and then top speeds. So I'll be having to scroll to the muscle car section here. Down the drain, you could probably be pretty fine with a top speed option actually. Because obviously down the drain is in the storm drain, which is a little to the right obviously of that icon there. Like as you can see, if you look at the storm drain, there is quite a bit of straights, but there are a slight bit of turns. So honestly, I don't think lap time is going to necessarily be too helpful for that one. So this might be one like circumstances where you'll actually want a top speed option. So I'll probably go over to number 1 top speed. But for those curious, number 1 lap time is the Dominator ASP for lap time for the muscle car class. Say the new Dominator ASP from the latest update is the number 1 lap time for muscle car class if you are curious for the lap time. And then top speed. If you want the number 1 top speed option for the muscle car class, actually, it might actually be free if you're like a returning player from the 7th gen version. If you've played a 7th gen version of the game and then you've won the 8th gen, I believe you get the Pisswasser Dominator for free, but if not, I think the like standard price for it's like 100, like 200,000, I think more like 200,000 from what I remember hearing. So yeah, Pisswasser Dominator, depending on your circumstances, like a player in this game, could be free for the number 1 top speed option for the muscle car class. So yeah, it's a pretty accessible option for the number 1 for the top speed, and the Dominator ASP, which is actually number 1 lap time in the muscle car class, is actually the prize ride right now. With more details on that later, so pretty accessible. All the options right now are kind of pretty accessible, I would say. For down the drain for the muscle car class, if you want to do the premium race for any reason. So that's the top couple options I would go for the premium race. And then time trial, wherever that may be. Power station regular time trial, not to be confused with our segment D01. This one goes to the suburbs of LS, so it sounds like it goes down somewhere like here or something, somewhere in this kind of area, I would imagine. So yeah, obviously there's like highway there, so it'll probably be pretty good for a while on top speed, but obviously eventually it's probably going to go into like an area with quite the turns and stuff like that, so top speed should be good for the earlier half, but for the later half, or like the later like quarter, you might want a lap time option, kind of. So top speed probably will be kind of better for this one because of this highway. So you have to go down somewhere in LS, it sounds like. So I'm gonna go for top speed, but I'll probably mention number 1 lap time for certain sections anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna go off of memory because I pretty much always go over the supercar class and the motorcycle class. I'll start with the supercar class. But first place for a lap time should be the Proton Emirates for the supercar class, which is like $2.7, $2.9 million or something like that. And yeah, Proton Emirates is from Damasceno Resorts. That was like from a couple years ago, so it shouldn't be too hard to find on the Legendary Motorsport website. It should be quite the ways. It shouldn't be quite the way down or anything. And yeah, with the performance upgrades and stuff, that's probably $3 million plus. So yeah, probably quite a couple hour investment, I would say, in terms of like a pretty go grinding that. Like 2 to 3 hour grind, I'd say, for that, if you don't have it for some reason. I wouldn't really use a supercar. I use motorcycles. I think motorcycles are definitely a better option. And then number 1 top speed for the supercar class goes to the PFIS 811 from what I recall. And that one's like 1,145,000 or 135,000, something like that. And then, yeah, with performance upgrades, probably like mid to high 1 mil range at most, I would say. So yeah, PFIS 811 is not that costly of one. You should probably be able to get that one in like an hour to 2. And again, this is one I should mainly prioritize in top speed because of the highway going down to LS or whatever, according to that description there. So that's number 1 lap time and number 1 top speed for the supercar class. And by the way, PFIS 811 is from like Finance Bounty Update, which is like mid 2016, so that's quite a ways down on the Legendary Motorsport website. So if you don't find it for a while on that site, that's why. And then the motorcycle class, if you're not going to use a supercar, you should use a motorcycle, and motorcycle is definitely a better option, I would say. Because obviously, there's the randomness. I don't really go with the car that much. But yeah. There's actually probably 3 motorcycles I'll go over. I'll go over number 1 lap time, top speed, and then there's one that's number 3 if we're learning the motorcycle class for lap time and top speed. So it's kind of best average motorcycle and best average time trial vehicle in general. It's in the last couple of years because the rocket boosted vehicles no longer being allowed. But yeah. First place lap time for the motorcycle class for what I recall is the Nagasaki Shotaro, which is like $2.3 million, and it's actually the Tron bike in the game. And I was only 2016 release with the Bikers DLC, other motorsports, like way down, like 2011. And Nagasaki Shotaro is pretty unique in a couple ways. One, I think you have to actually play a match of Deadline to unlock the Shotaro for purchase in general. It's not like a trade type, but it's actually quite easy to unlock for purchase. But it's pretty rare for a vehicle, so it is worth pointing that out. And then also, I think you can run forward or backwards with the stick for that best possible speed that you can get with the Nagasaki Shotaro, because like all the motorcycles, if you lean the stick in a certain way, I think you get like a speed boost. But yeah, then number 1 top speed from what I remember for the motorcycle class is the Maibutsu Mancha Scout, which is basically the latest motorcycle that was added to the game. The Maibutsu Mancha Scout, it's like $100,000, $200,000. It's like on the way top of Warsaw Cash and Carry, so it's very easy to find. Yeah, like $100,000, $200,000 for, and then with performance upgrades, probably like $500 to $50 at most, I would say. So you could easily get that one with a single heist. And again, this time trial actually looks to be mainly top speed oriented this time around. And then if you want the best average vehicle for a time trial, in my opinion, I would definitely go to the Bugatti Body 801. Bugatti Body 801 is like 10,000, 9,000, or even 8,000 for the stock vehicle, so it's a cheap vehicle there. And if performance upgrades for up to 500,000, so it'll make it easy entry price for that. But yeah, quite the options for the time trials, especially with it being primarily top speed. I would say 75% of the time trial, I would say. So that probably would go down to for less. And yeah, Body 801 is a motorcycle from literally day 1 of the game, so it's already at the bottom of those 10 race website. So you have to go quite the ways down for that one. And yeah, again, Body 801 is a good place to lock down for top speed for motorcycle class. And I didn't mention it, but Manchester Scout and then Body 801, those, like with 95 motorcycles, they're backwards stick as if you're doing a wheelie for the best possible speed, or that like a little speed bonus. No matter if it's a wheelie, you get the most speed bonus from what I know as a wheelie. If you can manage a wheelie or whatever, of course, I think you get the most speed boost, but just doing that like direction in the stick, I think it's some sort of speed boost. And actually, that was just the regular time trial. I still haven't really mentioned RCB and Dito one, which most times I don't have too much strategy for this one, but this time I kinda do. But yeah, one thing I can mention with this time trial is it's kind of worth doing a jump boost here from like here to here. I think like near the end, I think you kind of have to go from here to here. So instead of going down on like slope, since you're at like elevation, you should probably use the jump boost. And as long as you get a really good landing, you technically might save like a second or two at most. So that's like the one like ideal time to do a jump boost in terms of like any RCP and data time trials. That's something I would definitely keep in mind. And yeah, I don't really have an RCP and data time trial guide myself, but if you want like a time trial guide for any reason for this and the regular time trials even, I recommend GTA Men. I don't watch his guides on the time trials myself, but I imagine they're pretty good since he has a couple 100,000 subscribers, at least. And that should do for the pre-am race and the time trials. I forgot to recall this vehicle because I was like driving to the casino and like my vehicle like went flying in the air because it hit like a low ass curve or something. But yeah, for those unfamiliar with my like Benny's vehicle here, I'm driving since I'm gonna be driving my Benny's collection for maybe like half a year at most or something. With the traditional 11-week streams. I am driving the Voodoo Custom here, which was actually on discount I think a couple weeks ago. I had it for like years, but I'm just saying it as if like something recent with it happened. It's not on discount this week though, but yeah. Not much I can think of saying about it. I went with a purple theme kind of because I made it like a balls ride kind of. I think I went with purple as well because of the like final livery ad was like a cool like blue looking one here. So yeah, purple and blue in my opinion one of the better color combinations for sure. So I kind of made this like a balls themed ride here. That's kind of the little theme I went with it. So yeah, one, I went the purple because of the livery, and then two, for like a balls theme. Might open it up inside just for fun, why not? But yeah, like I said, I think the 10 tuners I have, I showed all 10 off. I already have, so I'm kind of moving on. I'm kind of moving on and showing other things. And actually, there is something I want to do. Actually, before going to the car meet, I kind of forgot to do that. And it's actually at the clothing store. But yeah, there's actually a new login reward. I think it's actually the first time they've ever done it because it's for celebration of the upcoming Definitive Edition coming out for Grand Theft Auto 3 for its 20th year anniversary. Which I'm very certain that anniversary is on October 22nd, 2021, obviously. But all you have to do is log in for the current event week, which goes until very early Thursday. I'm doing this very early Friday, so there's still a good few days to do it. There's a close door, finally. But I think it's the Rockstar Games typeface T or whatever they call it. But yeah, this is the first of a series of like clothing things they're doing for the upcoming release of Grand Theft Auto 3, the Definitive Edition. Or Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, if you're counting the other games as well that they're re-releasing. And I'll probably be wearing it for the rest of the stream because it's probably a pretty cool one, I would say. And I really want to celebrate Grand Theft Auto 3, so yeah. Should be in the special tops, I imagine. Unlocks, maybe? Alright, yes, here it is. This one's literally brand spanking new because it is for the 20-year anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 3 again. And yeah, Rockstar Games typeface T. So no, like, yeah, it was weird. It was like purely black there for a moment for some reason. But yeah, just simple black tee with Rockstar Games logo on there and like their price down font, whatever. Pretty sure the font they used for their like logo and then like also the pedal for Grand Theft Auto was like is price down or something like that. I think it's the same font used in like Price is Right or something. So yeah, same font used for the Price is Right, like game show, whatever. I think it's the same font they used for Grand Theft Auto and like the Rockstar Rockstar Games kind of logo there. Not their actual Rockstar Game logo, but on the shirt, I mean. And yeah, I didn't really do a balance of the hydraulics here and all that, so sure, I'll do it. Why not? Have some fun with it. Well, I have it all here. A very cool login reward this time around, so I would definitely get on the game at least once just for the login reward there. And yeah, there is like quite a bit more that should be coming out for the 20-year anniversary in terms of like clothing stuff, and then they also mentioned deliveries as well. Okay, my character didn't put on some really random sweatpants, because sometimes that happens when putting on certain like shirt things or something. So I'll get my high roller leggings here, which is pretty fun. But yeah, now to talk about the test track stuff and then the prize ride. Test track, I don't think any of this stuff is on discount, but I'm gonna mention some highlights in case anyone finds any of these vehicles fun to drive or anything. But yeah, the Ubermax Cypher, I believe the week it first released, they gave it out as a prize ride, so if you got it as a prize ride then and kept the vehicle, you should have the vehicle. But yeah, Ubermax Sniper and then the ZR350. I don't really recommend these ones too much. Their best performance for the tuner class is actually like 6th, 7th place around there for one category. I think this one's like a 6th, 7th place, like a lap time or something like that for the Cypher. And I think it's like 11 for 12 in top speed, which isn't that great. Only purely talking about the tuners class, by the way. And then in this CR350, I think that's like an 11th, 12th place in lap time, and then it's also like a 6th, 7th place in top speed. So yeah, Remote Sniper and then the CR350, they're kind of similar in a way in terms of like their performance, except they're kind of swapped. One's average in lap time, and then one's bad top speed, and then the other's like bad lap time, average top speed. However, the Karen Sultan RS Classic, for anyone who might test it out and might like consider getting it, it is the #1 lap time for the tuner subclass, not to be confused with the sport class, which all three of these are sport cars. But yeah, for those who are curious, this one, like I said, is the best of these three, that's worth picking up. And the lap time for this one is 12th place, and then the top speed is worse than 12th place. For the sport class, I mean, this time around, but yeah. But for the tuner classic, Karen Sultan RS Classic is #1 lap time, and I think it's like 7th place in top speed, so it's actually pretty average top speed as well. And most races are obviously lap time because most races are in the city, and then therefore have a lot of turns. So Sultan RS Classic might definitely be one of the more worthy pickups of the tuners update for sure, in terms of the tuner subclass. I don't really tend to talk the sport class a lot, because it's not really worth talking much about the sport class, because only one tuner vehicle even places in the top 10, and that's just their RR. Not accounting for like low grip tires, I mean, but yeah. And from what I hear, low grip tires aren't really good for racing anyways. So in my opinion, if you care about the performance much, I would avoid the Cypher and then the ZR350, only get them for like personal preference kind of reasons. Wouldn't even get any of these for customizations either, because the thing with tuners is all of the tuner vehicles have great customizations. So yeah, don't get a tuner for customization, because they all have great customizations in the tuner subclass. So really, if there's one worth getting this one year for the test track vehicles, just some highlights of them pretty much. And then the test track vehicle, which I kind of already explained with the premium race. Premium race being the muscle car, I already kind of explained the muscle car performance, but I'll talk a bit more about it. However, for a tuner class, I'm going to go off of what I remember, because the spreadsheet I used from roughly 1322 and mainly only goes over the main classes, doesn't really go over like any subclasses or anything. There's not very many subclasses, it's not usually too worth knowing about the subclasses necessarily. But yeah. Prize Right challenge for the Dominator ASP is actually not a bad one at all, which you would kind of expect being one of the few non-sport car vehicles. And any of the like sport car like tuner vehicles kind of tend to be like average at best, I would say. So yeah, for performance, I mean obviously, but yeah. Prize Right challenge this time is place top 3 in 6 races. You have to place top 3 in 6 LS Car Meet Series races. And I think what they mean with 6 LS Car Meet Series races, I think what that means is you basically have to choose between like pursuit races or just street races. I think it basically means pursuit races or street races when they say LS Car Meet Series. I think it's basically what it means. Like, I know the wording is kind of confusing, but it should basically just be any of the 7 street and then any of the 7 pursuit races. Just place top 3 in any of them. So I kind of showed them off, obviously, so people have a good idea what I'm talking about here. But yeah. Street races. We're doing for the present challenge. Problem with pursuit races is it has a minimum of 4 players in order to start it. Like, yeah, people might be able to leave and you might still be able to do it like once it starts. But yeah, start on the initial lobby screen. So So for that reason, I recommend the street races. Racing being a 2-player minimum. So you can do any like 2-player, 3-player street race, and you don't even have to win it at all. You can kind of like get any placement as long as there's only 2 or 3 people. So obviously for that reason, I would highly recommend the street races well over the pursuit races. And yeah, it depends every time depending on the like different challenge it provides. That's why I explain them like every single time. So yeah, definitely not a bad challenge at all. There's no like ridiculous like 6-day limit. There's no like ridiculous like 6-day in a row kind of limit thing where you have to literally like dedicate your time between 6 different days in the game. Nothing like that this time around, like there was with the Calico, GTF last week. But yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, for the muscle car class, not the tuner subclass, but the muscle car class, the Dominator ASP is the #1 muscle car for lap time, which lap time is most races. So you're essentially getting like the best muscle car here in the game currently, if you do manage to get this as a prize ride. And I could mention more, but I think that's all that's kind of worth mentioning. That like kind of know that this is a very worthy pickup, I would say, if you care about performance for muscle car races or anything like that. And then as one of the few tuner vehicles that aren't sport cars between the 17 tuner vehicles, literally 12 of them are sport cars, so for that uniqueness, I would get it for that as well. So you're not literally getting like 10 whole tuner vehicles if you're limiting yourself to the 10 spots in the auto shop garage like I did, for example. So I think there's a good couple reasons for it to be a very worthy pickup. And yeah, top speed for it, I didn't really mention top speed for it because there was no need to, kind of. But the ASP is actually a 7th place top speed for muscle car class. So yeah, first place hot time, 7th place top speed for muscle car class. And then I think it's around that 6, 7, like 8 placement for both laptop top speed for the tuner subclass. So it's a very average vehicle for the tuner subclass even as well. So it's amazing for the muscle car class, and then it's average for the tuner class. So it's a very worthy pickup, I would say. A very good prize ride this time around, for sure. That's all I can think of saying for the prize ride there. Alright. Rockstar Newswire's gotta reload on my phone, apparently, so I gotta wait a moment here. I think now is where I typically talk about the money opportunities. Because, yeah, I already went over the login rewards, so I don't really have to do that one. Because I already did. Alright. Just gotta pay attention here on the Newswire, so I know what to talk about here. So once I read it all, kind of, I'll go over the money opportunities. Okay, I think there's like 4 money opportunities this time around. So I'll make sure to go over all of them, obviously. And I think half of them are on the pause menu, or I think half of the money opportunities are on the pause menu, and then the other half are more of like a free mode thing. So in traditional style, I'll go over the ones in the pause menu first, because they're the easiest ones to explain. Because I don't like play all the different stuff, I just mainly talk about them, obviously, because the main purpose of these streams is to let people know what's the most worth doing and what's not and whatnot. Alright, I'll start off with the missions here from Gerald, aka the title of the stream, the 2 times money RP on Gerald missions. Because the other thing on the pause menu is in adversary mode, and that's beneath that. But yeah. All Gerald contact missions, whether it's from like day 1 of the game, or if it's like the last play missions, for example, they're all 2 times money RP for Gerald contact missions. But yeah. I believe this one here is only 2 to 4 player mission. I think all its other ones are actually solo missions, so you can literally do all but this one by yourself, I believe. So this is probably the one to avoid the most because of that 2 to 4 player requirement. So I'd probably avoid this one, I think, because it's only 2 to 4 player mission there. For ones, I don't really have any tips like straight off that I know. But I have a series known as contact mission content where I go over all the different contact missions in this little like pause menu section here. So I do have a series called contact mission content where I've went over all the day 1 like contact missions from Gerald, and maybe some of his like very early DLC missions as well if he had any. But yeah. If you want to know like exact details on like strategies and stuff like that for a bunch of different missions, I have an episode of contact mission content out there for that. I don't have an episode of contact mission yet. I don't have an episode of lots of play missions, but of Gerald's other missions, I pretty much have a like episode of contact mission content for them. So any of that thing are all Gerald missions. And then here's the more interesting section. This is probably the ones that are most worth playing, and that would be the strand of the last play missions. These ones are the easiest to know. They're Gerald missions because they all have the like last play at the beginning of them, so they're kind of the easiest ones to identify in this menu here. So I think the last play ones are definitely the most worth it, and they're also the latest contact missions for Gerald, and they're just the latest contact missions. But yeah, while I don't have an episode for it yet, I do have it in the works, so I might try to get it out for next week, or maybe later this week. So I might start doing a like video about like the trophies and stuff like that for the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, the definitive edition coming out. Because apparently the trophies, like their taxed and all, were like leaked and stuff. And some of the trophies are actually very particular. It sounds like for the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, the definitive edition coming out. So I might consider doing a video for that this week, if I feel like doing it, because I don't know how I would go about that exactly. I don't know if I would have to do it on PC. I don't know if I would have to do it on PC, which would be great at making PC videos, because I don't really have much of an editor that I know of on PC. And yeah, PS5, they don't have a web browser on the PS5 like they do on the PS4, unfortunately, so I don't really... But yeah. I do know which last play missions are worth avoiding though, even though I haven't released a part of contact mission content yet. But yeah, bad companies deal with it. Fast pedaling and then make ends meet, I think, are the 4 last play missions most worth doing. Those are definitely the 4 that are most worth repeating. And then the ones that, a couple last play missions I would avoid, which is the best set of Gerald missions that I would recommend, is the last play end product, and then go figure. I'll mention I don't like about this too. They're not very worth doing. Obviously, that mission that's not acceptable. I like the more regular missions. But yeah, I'll start with go figure because storyline of last. But yeah, go figure. The mission itself isn't necessarily that hard. The annoying thing with the mission though is you have to find like all kinds of like impotent rage statues and all that. So you have to find like all kinds of different impotent rage statues in like a couple different locations, and some of them can be quite hidden. So I don't really like go figure. It's not a very great designed mission. I think it's one of the worst designed contact missions in the game, quite frankly. So your last play, I would highly go figure. I would highly avoid this particular mission. Even yeah, you kind of expect it to be hard for playing stranded missions, but yeah, there's all kinds of people and stuff that spawn in and kill you and stuff, and then you have the like more custom as well. Bad like mission design in my opinion with that mission, because you can't go like a certain distance from the mill or it, like fails the mission, I believe. So I think what I found to work best was like an armored crewman. Armored crewman I think is definitely the best if you go and play last play. I think that's what I end up using it. Mission content that may be releasing next week or something. I might try to get it out during hasn't been told about that one. The struggle and do it with, I remember. want to use any vehicle for this one, I'm going to recommend Armored Kuruma or the Deluxe-L. In fact, the regular Kuruma is like broken right now, so it's actually even more bulletproof than the Armored Kuruma, so even a regular Kuruma is pretty worth using as well, kind of. But yeah, the couple I would avoid the most from Gerald's missions I can remember off the top of my head is the 2-Mash and Grab, being that 2-player Gerald mission. And then Let's Play and Product, because it's a really ridiculously difficult mission in my opinion, and then go figure, Final and infected raid statues can be quite the pain in the ass. So the ones I recommend the highest are the other 4 Let's Play missions I didn't mention were bad or whatever, obviously, and then kind of basically any other Gerald mission. Because I can't remember which other Gerald missions might be a pain in the ass, but obviously, like I mentioned, I have a contact mission content episode on most of Gerald's missions if you want to know that, obviously. And of course, there might definitely be other videos out there as well. So that was the contact missions 2 times on the Gerald missions. But yeah. Final reminder, by the way, because I think certain modes and adversary modes are going to be vaulted again. But yeah. Inch by inch, keep the pace. Offense, defense, and then regular sumo. I think this is the last week to play these different modes. Again, that's sumo. That's regular sumo, not remix. Offense, defense, keep the pace, and then inch by inch. Those are the 4 modes again that I believe are going away this week. I believe they mentioned the last week, and it's probably on the news wire that I have on my phone right now, but I'm not really looking at it at this moment. But yeah, sumo this time around is the money opportunity, whereas offense, defense I think was the first one when they put these modes back in the game. And I think like inch by inch might have been a money opportunity at one point as well. But yeah, I think it's kind of the final week to play regular sumo before it gets vaulted again, so definitely keep that in mind. So it might be very worth jumping on this one right now in these last few days. I think there's one that has a different player count. Okay, it's the maximum that changes on one of them, but yeah, one has 2 to 4 players instead of 2 to 8. So this map here, Sumo 4 with the Maze Bank might not be as good because there will obviously be less players, and I assume more players, and depending on how good you do, you might manage to get more money. So if there's one map to avoid, it's probably Sumo 4, the rest of them is probably the ones more worth doing. And yeah. Even on free times, I don't really recommend doing it. I'm gonna stick more to the Gerald missions or even a couple of the other things I'm mentioning. Even on triple, this is probably the most, like, least worth one playing again. And yeah, adversary modes, I think for the most part, they all share the, like, same, like, payout method. It all, like, kind of depends on, like, how many, like, rounds there are in the different modes, because obviously depending on the mode, there could be different, like, rounds at, like, max or whatever. So, like, certain modes just last longer than others. I think this mode is one of the, like, shorter modes, kind of, so I feel this one can definitely be breezed through pretty quickly, so I kind of don't think this is super worth doing even on triple. But yeah, I think this is definitely the last week to do this, as well as the other couple I mentioned, so if you want to play them before they get vaulted again, definitely make sure to play it. So that's the pause menu. I want to go over a couple of the ones that are actually, what's it called, that are not on the pause menu and are therefore harder to explain. But yeah. I'll actually start off with the daily objective one, because there's another one that's not really in any sort of menu whatsoever, but this one can kind of be explained on the interaction menu. But yeah, daily objectives for today, I know only the top one I believe is the same for everybody. I think these other two can be different for everybody, but this top one is always the same for every single player from what I remember. So the special one today is complete a special vehicle work. But yeah, the one today that everybody has is complete a special vehicle work. And special vehicle work is actually on double money right now as well. So the last money opportunity aside for this daily objective thing between the four is special vehicle work, by the way. So I'll probably stay on the screen because it mentions it on text here. And then for me, I have steal 10 vehicles and then resupply the meth lab. So yeah, complete special vehicle work. That should be a very easy one to complete, considering that it's on like double or triple money for the event. There's a person on Twitter there's a person on Twitter I recommend. God damn it, I can't talk right now. Damn it. But yeah. There's a person on Twitter I recommend. God damn it, I can't talk still apparently. But yeah. But yeah, there's a certain person on Twitter that I know of known as like Tez2 or something, and I think they've revealed all of the like different daily objectives for the week, so I might go over it, though I might also have people just like look into it themselves if they're curious. Because obviously if you go on every single day, you're gonna just see the objective anyways. I don't actually think it's really worth talking about anyways. So, just to notice one on the top, just know, only the one on the top is what everybody has. Keep in mind, it's not like Red Dead where I think all the daily objectives are the same for every player, for the regular ones at least. And GTA is one of the top ones, it's the same for everybody. But yeah, while it's on here, special vehicle work. Special vehicle work, there's 8 different missions. It's basically the different missions that unlocks the trade price for the different import and export, like, special vehicles. So that includes, like, the Phantom Wedge, Ruiner 2000, Blazer Aqua, Technical Aqua, the Wastelander, whatever ones haven't I mentioned. Armored Boxville, maybe I didn't mention. And then there's like a couple other ones that I don't remember right now on the top of my head. They're all the different work mission things you have to do to unlock the trade prices for the import-export vehicles. Those are on double right now. Yes, they are double right now. So in particular for today's daily objective that every single player has, it's probably the best one of the week for the daily objectives up here. Because it's on like a double opportunity for the whole entire week, so that's probably the one that most people will be doing if you want to get any benefit out of the thing with daily objectives, which I'll mention later. But yeah, I'm talking about special vehicle work right now, actually, because it's on here right now. But I'm trying to think of all 8 vehicles right now so I can explain the different works. Because they're hard to remember, obviously, because they're not on the pause and you have to go right to the office. But yeah, I don't really recommend special vehicle works too much because you have to go to the office every single time you want to start one up. Every time you want to host a special vehicle work, you literally have to go to the office. It's not like the contact missions where you can just do them right in the pause menu. So that's the downside of special vehicle work, is you literally have to go to the office every time you want to host one. Or obviously you can join them as they like show up on your like phone if anyone invites you or anything to any of them. Let me actually pull up the Secure Reserve CO. That will help me definitely remember them to talk about in terms of the stuff here. But yeah, I guess I'll have to go out to car meet to see that. But yeah, I should be able to remember what they all are once I'm on that menu there. And I think I want to mention actually something about the contact missions I forgot to mention. there's a good way to efficiently grind the contact missions. But yeah, if you go into playlists here, create a playlist, recently played jobs. Any recently played job that you do will actually show up here, actually. Wait, whoa, you can actually add contracts in there, what? Can you actually add contracts in there and actually like host them right away or something? I doubt it, but still, I don't know. But yeah, trying to think what I was saying here. But yeah, for example, these are Let's Play missions. I've actually played all 6 of them recently. Like I mentioned, I'm in the works of doing that episode of contact mission content. I've already done all the recording, like footage. I just gotta do like audio stuff. But yeah. For the Gerald mission, that's waiting play the mission. Like a lot of the different stuff, like you can see these other sections that say like honestly almost any of them aside for the bookmark job and like your job. Any of these like 11 ones over here, all you gotta do is like add them. In mission you would think would have the missions, but I'll show it here, but it's basically just adversary modes and like the arena stuff and whatnot. So you won't find them in the mission section, contrary to what it's called. So unfortunately, they did make it where you have to recently play them. I think it was like something they've done back on like the 7th gen days, because people would grind the hell out of contact missions. They kind of nerfed contact missions, so you have to do it for recently played. You can't do it from the mission list. So unfortunately, any mission you want to like add to a playlist, if you want to make it yourself, you have to actually play it first yourself. So that's the strategy, is basically make a playlist of like all the different like missions you most want to play for the Gerald missions and make a playlist out of them. That's basically the strategy there. So that's the best way to efficiently keep playing the different contact missions for Gerald if you want to like have a whole like 16 job playlist of different Gerald missions, and that's what you can do to most efficiently make money with that. I tend to forget to mention that a lot. I used to remember to mention it a lot, but yeah, at least I remembered to do that this time. Because I don't think I mentioned it when I talked about the Lamar missions, that there's the like playlist method of being able to efficiently play them over and over again. And if you have just one mission, obviously you can just like keep replaying the one mission even. So yeah, definitely make a playlist if you want to like get the most benefit out of the Gerald missions, which I'd say would probably be the best of the money opportunities this week, honestly. In my opinion, I think it's definitely the best opportunity, no doubt. But yeah, now that I'm a secure search CEO, I'll be able to remember the different special vehicles, all 8 of them. But yeah, Phantom Wedge. Going into the special vehicle work of the Phantom Wedge. With the Phantom Wedge one, you have to go to like different locations. You gotta collect like certain like things of loot and stuff like that, like cash and whatnot. And that one, I think it's pretty easy to get like shot up and stuff, especially for the people on like the back of the Phantom Wedge if you play with like more than 2 players. So I don't know. That one's probably not one of the easier ones, I would say, for the special vehicle work. I think the Phantom Wedge one might be one of the more annoying ones. That one's probably one of the least worth playing. Ruiner 2000. The Ruiner 2000 special vehicle work. I think the Ruiner 2000 special vehicle work is definitely the best one. It's definitely the easiest one and is therefore the most replayable one as well. The Ruiner 2000 one is quite a joke. It's so easy to complete that one for the special vehicle work. So if you're going to grind one at all, definitely make it the Ruiner 2000 one, no doubt. So that one you basically just blow the shit out of things. That's basically all you do, I believe. Transporter, I mean, I'm not talking about VIP work, that was last week, but I'm on here for the different special vehicle names. Amphibious Assault, I know, is the Technical Aqua. I mean, the technical Aqua one, they probably have you going in like the water and stuff, obviously, to use the amphibious capabilities, and yeah, the technical Aqua's not the most speedy in the water, so the technical Aqua VIP work, the technical Aqua special vehicle work is probably not very worth doing. Wastelander. The Wastelander special vehicle work, that one, I believe that one's a pretty decent one. The enemies aren't too bad to deal with on that one. And you can already go into like the different like rivers with the high suspension of the Wastelander to avoid a lot of the oncoming enemies. So the Wastelander one's not bad for a special vehicle work, I recall. Fortified with armored boxbill. The armored boxbill ones, the armored boxbill one, you're basically just going against like enemies and stuff. They're not like super like worth worrying about, because it's not like the Phantom Wedge where like people can be exposed on the back of it. You're basically safe in like any of the seats, as long as you're not like the gunner, and even if you're the gunner, obviously you have like firepower to exchange for being exposed on the armored boxbill. So the armored boxbill special vehicle works not bad for sure, from what I remember. Rocket Voltic. I think Rocket Voltic one you kill like a certain set of targets and stuff like that, if I remember. So I don't remember the Rocket Voltic one being all that hard, so that one's a pretty good one probably as well. Ramp Buggy. I think Ramp Buggy is the one with like the Union. I think Ramp Buggy is the one with like the Union Depository. I think there's like AIs that rob the Union Depository. Yeah, I think there's like AIs that like rob the Union Depository, and then you have to like kind of like help them escape or something like that, if I remember. I don't remember the Ramp Buggy one being bad either for the special vehicle work. Not to be confused with VP works, I'm just on here to remember what they're all called. And the Blazer Aqua one. Blazer Aqua one, I probably wouldn't really recommend. The Blazer Aqua one is probably one of the worst ones, because you're obviously on like a motorcycle ATV, so you're heavily exposed to gunfire, unlike other vehicles. So for that reason, I don't really recommend the Blazer Aqua one, and then you're basically forced to use the machine guns on it unless you like get off of the Blazer Aqua, and in that case you'll be using your like actual guns. So in my opinion, the Blazer Aqua one's one of the worst special vehicle works. Alright, so I'll go in here to kind of remember. So in terms of special vehicle work, I think the Phantom Wedge one's one of the more avoidable ones. It's definitely the best one here with the Runner 2000. Technical Aqua, I would probably avoid that one just because you'll probably be going in the water with a solo ass truck. Wastelander one, I don't remember it being bad. So that one's pretty decent. Same with Boxville, Rocket Voltic, Small, Ramp Bug even, and Blazer Aqua I would avoid. But yeah. For special vehicle work, I would avoid the Phantom Wedge one, kind of. In terms of grinding special vehicle work for tons of money RP, I would avoid the Phantom Wedge one. I would avoid the fucking, what's it called? I'm trying to think of all three of them again. The Phantom Wedge one, the Technical Aqua, and the Blazer Aqua. I think those are definitely a couple that are probably most worth avoiding for the special vehicle works for tons of money RP. And then, yeah, what's it called? Trying to think of the four that aren't the best I'm thinking right now. But the Wastelander, the Rocket Voltic. Wastelander, Ramp Buggy, Rocket Voltic. God damn it, what's the fourth one? I'm trying to think of it here. But yeah, Wastelander, Rocket Voltic. God damn it, I can't remember all four of them without going back on that VIP menu, I feel. Oh yeah, Wastelander, Armored Boxville, Rocket Voltic. Fuck, I think forget one of the other ones again now. Let's trying to remember here again. Fuck. What's it called? God fucking damn, I can't remember the fourth one I'm trying to think of here. I keep forgetting of at least one every time I try to speak here. Wastelander, Rocket Voltic, Armored Voxville, Wastelander, Rocket Voltic, Ramp Buggy, and then Armored Voxville. Those four, I finally fucking remembered the four I'm trying to talk about. Those four are decent, but they're not the number one, I would say, and then the Ruiner 2000 one's the number one. So basically I would do any, but the Phantom Wedge, I'd probably do any special vehicle work for 2 times 20 RP in terms of grinding them efficiently, but the Phantom Wedge, the Phantom Wedge, besides for the Phantom Wedge, fucking Technical Aqua and the fucking Laser Aqua, there I go. Finally remembered the free again. I did not recommend. All the other few I definitely think are pretty decent ones to grind from what I recall. And then now to go into the daily objective thing, aside for the special vehicle work, which that was 2 times my RP. But this is 1.5 times on money, essentially, and it might be just for the daily ones, not for like 7 day and then like 28-day streaks, I think. But yeah. It's probably just for daily streaks. I'm not sure if it counts for 7-day streaks or like 28-day streaks or something, but you also make 50% more on daily objectives as well by completing the whole sets, I mean. So I think, for example, I think they upped it as of the last couple of years, but I think in like 1 day you can make $30,000 if you do all the different daily objectives for the day. So if you do all 3 of these, I think you get like 30,000 for the first day. For like the first 6 days. 7, I think you get a bonus for a week. 14, 21 as well, I think. And then 28, I think that counts like the month-long one. That's where you make a huge amount of money. But yeah, I think at minimum normally you make $30,000, 50% more, extra 15,000 for 45,000. So you can make like $45,000 each day for the like little bonus for the daily objectives and 50% more. And yeah, like I mentioned, the only one that's not repeat, but the only one that's like everybody gets is the one on top. The middle and bottom ones are like unique to every player, but the one on top is for like every single player. So the ones on top are the ones that you want to be trying to do with other players, obviously, more so in particular. And these ones are more personalized, obviously. So as long as you can get the top one done pretty easily, I would imagine the other two shouldn't be too difficult. So that's kind of the strategy, is to knock out that top one first and then do those more personalized ones kind of later, I would say. And especially today with everybody having a special vehicle work, with that one being on 2 times money RP for the whole entire week, it's probably the easiest one to take advantage of for sure between the top daily objectives. I don't know, I might go on Twitter and check out his too, kind of mention the other ones. Now, I know, like I mentioned, you won't be able to see them when it first happens, which tends to happen at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. PST time, at least in my time zone, it happens at 11 p.m. Whenever the daily objectives change, obviously you have like 24 hours to do them, so that's when you should jump onto them. Whoa, like why the hell did the game lag there? I'm on fucking PlayStation fucking 5, and the game like lags like crazy then again. It is a PS4 game still, so that's probably got to do with it, quite honestly. But now I think I basically just have discounts to cover. I think I covered all the money opportunities already. Took a while, kind of, but I eventually got it done. Alright. So I want to make sure I covered everything aside for discounts. That might be a couple minutes before we talk about discounts here. Alright, Steamo, I talked about that. The t-shirt thing, I talked about that. Special vehicle work, Gerald missions, talked about those. Talked about the 50% more money on the daily objectives, which at minimum is 45,000 if you complete the entire set instead of 30,000, I'm pretty sure. I mean, 50% more, 3,000 plus 15,000, which is 50%, 45,000. And like I mentioned, don't need the top daily objectives for everyone. The other two are more personalized for everyone. Alright, yes, I definitely have the discount. I definitely only have discounts to cover now. So starting off, I'll go back to my lowrider over here. It might even go out with it too, because it will be helpful for explaining what I'm going to talk about here. So I guess I'll take this out again. And by the way, all the vending vehicles that I completed in my collection, I put colored headlights on all of them as well, because those are only available in a couple different locations. I figured I would mention that. But yeah, trust me, I'm doing this for a reason. But yeah, hydraulics are on a 50% off discount. Fuck that AI. Let me just bounce on my hydraulics. But yeah, these hydraulics here are 50% off discount for like a third week in a row now. It's literally like a third week in a row with 50% off hydraulics. Not complaining, they're definitely quite costly. I believe they can be up to like 200, 300 maybe. I think the highest I've seen was like 180 something with the like 50% off these last couple weeks. So yeah, I think they get almost $400,000 at maximum. So yeah, definitely quite the savings to be had on hydraulics. And no, I'm not joking. It's definitely kind of worth to take advantage of it for sure. Okay, I'll let it be raised. I guess I've had it lowered for like the longest time on the stream, probably. So yeah. So that was a little like demonstration of the 50% off hydraulics, I guess. And then the rest of the discounts are, for the most part, vehicles. There is a property discount as well, or multiple even. I'll just go back into carving though. I'm not wanting to just mess around out here with hydraulics any longer. That will probably be too distracting. I just want a little demonstration to show it off this time, since I'm starting to show off the bending vehicles. But yeah, definitely take advantage of that 50% off hydraulics. I'm not joking. You can save a good couple $100,000 on like every vehicle that has the hydraulics by doing 50% off the hydraulics. Alright, I'll go in here and then I'll talk about the rest of it. Alright. Not executive, but regular Dynasty 8 here, I think, for the property discount. And I think it's for standalone garages, I think, so not ones tied to apartments, but the standalone garages here. I think they're on discount here, I'm pretty certain. Yeah, there it is. The most expensive standalone garage here is 90,000 right now. It's at 150,000. Yeah. All garages are 40% off. My garages, they just have the regular garages, like 2-car garages on the Dynasty website. So not a very great, not a very huge discount, but definitely a nice discount nevertheless. And then yeah, that was the only other like kind of like modification, like property upgrade. All the rest are vehicle related. Alright. Sounds like the Moonbeam and Primo and their vehicle upgrades, and then a few others as well. I want to see if there is any on this website for any reason. I don't think there is on Benny's. Alright, yeah, no, not on Benny's. I mean, not. If I've been saying Benny's, I mean Arena War. But yeah. There's a couple discounts at least on this website. There's some discounts that are literally that one kind of better. But yeah, starting off, some of the like more like vehicles, the Moonbeam and then the Preach. So this kind of continues to be like these discounts they've been doing the last couple weeks. Particular, but yeah, I have to get to the spreadsheet here again, so it might be a bit. Alright, let's see, Moonbeam, that's a muscle car, believe it or not. But yeah, let's see, that was top speed, I need a lap time. Alright. So if you want to know the performance of the regular Moonbeam for a lap time was 51st place. Or actually I'm on lap time right now, I guess. But your lap time for the regular Moonbeam is 53rd place. And then top speed for the regular Moonbeam is 51st place. So this one right here is 53rd place lap time, 51st place top speed, which yeah, it's not the custom one, so you don't expect performance to be that good. Or you shouldn't at least. I should stay on the screen, but yeah. If you want to know the custom one, this custom one as well is 30% off, so the upgrade price, quite expensive upgrade prices, is 30% off for the Moonbeam Custom. The Moonbeam Custom for a lap time is 45th place for the muscle car class. And then top speed of the Moonbeam Custom 50th place top speed. So that's a 45th place lap time, 50th place top speed for the custom one. And yeah, both of them are below average for lap time and top speed for the muscle car class. So there's practically no reason to get the regular Moonbeam, but the custom version obviously has great customizations. So for that reason, the custom one's pretty much only great for customizations, aside for personal preference reasons. But yeah, there's like no reason to get the regular Moonbeam, just the custom one for customizations. And then I think the Primo is a sedan. So I have to go into the sedan class for the spreadsheet. I'm looking at from roughly 1322 on my phone here before I talk about it. Alright, yeah. Primo is a sedan, which is not the most common class to get, new vehicles. But yeah. For the regular Primo, it's a 9th place in lap time. For the sedan class, so it's in the top 10, but again, sedan class isn't really important in terms of racing for the most part, compared to certain other classes. And then the regular Primo is a 24th place in sedan for top speed. So the regular 180 is top 10 in the lap time department, but top speed is way below average in the sedan class. And then if you want to know the Primo Custom here, alright, one placement up for lap time, and then one placement up for top speed as well. So yeah, I said 9th place lap time for the Primo, the regular one, so it's 8th place lap time for the Custom. And then the Custom is 23rd place instead of 24th place, top speed. So yeah, this is still within the top 10, just by one placement more than the regular Primo, so it's a little bit better than the regular Primo in both lap time and top speed by a single placement. Being top 10 in lap time, but top speed is horrible for it for sedan class. So that's those two, or those four, I should say, on the scale even. And those were all 30% off for the stock ones, and then the upgrade prices as well. And then there's only a few more discounts for the entire event week. Alright, I think there's just one more discount, and it's only an upgrade price, so I'll show the upgrade picker here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the Yosemite is a muscle car, but the upgrade price of the Yosemite Rancher, which I believe turns it to off-road, is on discount. The Yosemite Rancher, which is pictured here, is 30% off, and I'm pretty sure is an off-road vehicle, so I'll be having a look into its performance here. So I have to go to off-road on the spreadsheet I'm looking at here. Alright. For lap time, the Yosemite Rancher is 15th place, which is above average for off-road class, but it's a good few placements beneath the top 10, so for performance, I wouldn't go for it for a lap time at least. And then top speed, the Yosemite Rancher is 9th place. So this is a 15th place lap time for the upgrade here, and then 9th place top speed for the upgrade here. So for the off-road class, it's at least top 10 for top speed, but lap time is a few placements beneath the top 10, which at that point kind of makes it irrelevant for performance. So it's okay to decent, I would say, for performance in general, but I wouldn't get it for performance. The thing with Benny's, obviously, is if you want to get these vehicles for customizations, because any custom vehicle in Benny's is guaranteed to have great customizations. I think this already had like 30 options. I think it had a ton of options. Even more than like all the different like tuner vehicles, I think even. So yeah, that's the Yosemite Rancher. Has a decent top speed, but not the greatest lap time. By like a few placements at least. And customizations, obviously, being on Benny's, it's great. And I don't think there's the latest discounts. I'll check though on the phone. Alright, so I am truck or custom. Alright, yeah, there's none on the latest. I checked on the Rockstar Newswire. But there's a couple on this website. One it won't be new if you've been Prime Gaming though, but the other one's new for everybody. But yeah, Vapid Click. By the way, they're both going to be muscle cars, so keep that in mind. But yeah. Trying to see here. But yeah, for lap time, the Vapid Cook here, which is on 40% off discount, I imagine is 6th place for lap time. And top speed. Top speed of the Cook is 11th place. So I think as of the latest update, the Cook has been dethroned from the top 10 for the muscle car class for top speed. So the Vapid Cook for performance is getting kind of a little bit irrelevant as of the latest update now. However, 6th place lap time for the muscle car class is still pretty decent, so this is definitely worth picking up. But it has been a free vehicle in the past, actually. During Festive Surprise a few years ago, or whatever, it was a free vehicle, so it was free like a couple years ago. So for that reason, I wouldn't really pay for it. So if you didn't get it when it was free, I wouldn't really recommend getting it now necessarily. And yeah, I have a whole reviewing guide actually on the Click and then a couple of like weapons as well actually. So I do actually have a reviewing guide on the Click actually. Our stream's been for like an hour 22 minutes now, apparently. And customizations I remember being pretty decent though, so if you want to get a lifetime muscle car and then also customization, and that's a good reason to get it. But top speed has been recently dethroned from the top 10 for the clip. And then going into the Casco. Now the Casco. But yeah, the Casco is on a regular and discount. And yeah, the Cook is a 40% discount. Now, and I think this is actually the last week to get it on 65% off discount and also 40% off discount. So if you're not Prime Gaming, 40% off, and if you are, 65% off. For those who want to know a couple different numbers with it. And yeah, I did go over it a while ago, but because it's on a regular discount, I'll go over it again as well. But yeah, the Casco, I think this is muscle car, unless it's Sport Classic. Might be Sport Classic actually, I might have to look here. Alright, Casco is actually Sport Classic if I was muscle car because of the click for some reason. But yeah, Casco for a lap time is 15th place in the muscle car class. So a good few placements beneath top 10. And top speed. And top speed of the Casco is 8th place. Yes, it is within the top 10 for top speed. Lap time is 8th place. And it can be kind of decent. I want to go for it. So that should be it for the Luxury Motorsport website. Again, this is 40% off discount for no Prime Gaming, and with Prime Gaming it's 65%, and in that case you've had an opportunity to get the discount for quite a couple weeks now. And then that's not on discount, just switched up at the moment. I think there's only one more stock discount this time, and that's actually for the Hauler Custom. I already have it though, so I can't really show off the price here. But yeah. The Joe Built Hauler Custom is 30% off. And it's one of the MOC cabs, which is quite nice. So you can get quite the massive savings on it, even at just 30% off. Because I know it's more expensive than the Phantom Custom, which is 1.2. I'm pretty certain this is the more expensive one. So it's probably normally like 1.3 million at least. 30% off of that is still some pretty decent savings, kind of. So yeah. And this is in the commercial class for those who might care about performance. So actually, since it's an MOC cab, I'm just going to say it's worth it for being an MOC cab. Between these two, being the most expensive one, I'm very certain it's the better one. I mean, they both pretty much take around the same explosive resistance, and like they have like all the same protection and stuff like that. But yeah. Obviously, you can't just have the MOC by itself, so having all our custom is very worth having for the MOC. Which the MOC isn't too useful anymore, but it does have exclusive access to the mobile operations. There's an exclusive set of missions similar to the special vehicle works known as mobile operations. Having a mobile operations center with Hauler or Phantom Custom is the only way to get the mobile operations for hosting them. So for that exclusive money opportunity, it's worth getting it alone. And then you can also get... and then you can also store one more personal vehicle in a mobile operations center, so getting the Hauler Custom for the personal vehicle storage is also worth it. So getting the MOC Hauler Custom for personal vehicle storage and then the exclusive money opportunity for the mobile operations is very worth doing. So for that reason, very worth getting the vehicle. And then I think there's just one last discount. Alright, yeah, just one last vehicle discount. That's on Stubborn. And it's very recent on here. And that is the Vapid Slam Truck. Vapid Slam Truck, instead of a little over 1.3, I believe that says, it's a little over 900,000, so almost $400,000 in savings. But yeah. This one's in the utility class, I think, which is a pretty interesting classing for a DLC vehicle, even. But yeah, it is a utility class vehicle. Which utility class for like a racing situation is quite the meme class, which means like it's not like very good. It's kind of just for the lows, just have a laugh. So you'll probably only do a utility race if you want to have like a laugh or something in this game. But yeah. Anyways, for utility performance, it's second place for lap time for the utility class, and then it's also second place top speed for the utility class, going off of roughly 132 spreadsheet. So at least that's. But yeah. Damn it, bro, I swear. But yeah. Has very damn good, decent performance for lap time top speed. It's also worth mentioning it actually has hydraulics on it, which I think makes it one of the only couple vehicles that aren't on Benny's that actually have hydraulics. So I think it comes with the hydraulics. It's not like the Benny's vehicles where you have to pay for the hydraulics. I think you actually get the hydraulics for free on this one because I think it automatically comes equipped on it. So that's one thing that makes it very worth getting, is it actually has hydraulics, and then it's also in the utility class, which is pretty unique for even a DLC vehicle to be in the utility class. So it's very interesting classing, and has hydraulics. Not really necessarily certain customizations are that great. I kind of doubt the customizations are that great on this, but yeah. quite a good couple reasons to get the Slam truck, I would say. Being under $1 million, I think, makes it a lot more worth it. But still, I don't feel it's even been on a 40% off discount yet for a non-prime gaming at least. So, but still. If I grind a game, I might consider picking one up this week or next week for sure. So I might personally go for one for sure. Because I have almost all the vehicles I want in the game, and I know there's one truck's one of them I don't have still that I actually want. So yeah. A little kind of like rehash on the discounts. So Lamb Truck's very worth it, I would say. Power Customs very worth it as well. The Cook and the Casco are okay, but not as worth it, I would say, as the Hauler, Custom, and then this Lamb Truck. And I wouldn't really recommend much of the Benny's ones, I would say. Maybe, if any, I would recommend the Yosemite Rancher, if any of them on the Benny's website. The Yosemite Rancher, the Hauler, Custom, and then the Lamb Truck, I think, are the three best couple discounts for vehicle discounts. Cook and the Casco, I think, are the lesser of the discounts this time, for sure. But yeah, that's finally going to be it for the stream. Probably like an hour and a half at this point. Yep, almost an hour 42 minutes, but whatever. That's kind of the typical length of GTA Online streams for me, because, yeah. There's a lot more to explain with GTA Online compared to Red Dead Online, because obviously it's been a lot longer in a way. And they don't like neglect this game like they do for Red Dead, so yeah. But yeah. Next stream, I think I'll actually be doing the contracts in this game actually for next stream, like I did for Red Dead Online a couple weeks ago. I did the contracts for Red Dead Online. So I think I'll be doing a few different contracts I haven't done. I think I did 3 out of 8 contracts, I think, so far, so I'll be doing the last of the few contracts I need to do. Probably for Sunday, maybe. I'll probably do that stream for Sunday, if anything. Saturday or Sunday, most likely. So yeah, I might be doing that miscellaneous stream, doing the different contracts that I haven't yet done this week for sure. Depends on if I have... Depends on if there's anything I feel is worth doing aside for that. But yeah, that'll finally be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.